we throw in a part of what we're doing as a family unit. This is like a family affair. And all of this food we're preparing right now is for Sundance next year, for ceremonies that are coming up. We've been taught that this is what you do to get ready, so we're doing it. So as a family, my brother is the intercessor for the Afraid of Bear line at Sundance. He sits and holds that. It's now up to us. It's our age. It's our time. Our fathers and our mothers, they all left. So this is a little bit of what we're doing. Sacred food, getting prepared for all of that. Nita. We need those meat racks brought in too.
Oh, are they? Do you know where they might be at?
I think they're in the side there. Let's see how this is. Oh my God, look at this. See, and this is how we keep our meat from getting any contamination on it or any of that. And this is like a big wide space. Let me open some up. This is the modern way in which we dry our meat. Used to be the most, the one that had the most patience would sit and keep the flies and bugs off the meat day in and day out until the grandma said it was okay. So we're having it good compared to a long time ago. And we'll let some air in here. So we got some funding to do this meat cutting project, and so from that, some of the people who were very open to working youth, elder wisdom transfer to the youth, they gave us money so that we could buy this. I think we paid like $900 for this tent. It's but we have some meat racks. We got new meat racks, things that they can be proud of. Because we had makeshift little racks, but we took care of things that we had. This is perfect. This is so good. Now, my goal is that someday we'll have the biggest tents around. Every family will have a tent that they can put their dry meat in. Because that's half the battle. Keeping the flies off of your food. That's half the battle. So you want to have the most cleanest, awesome places. You see it's got a floor, you know, so my sister and I, we make sure every 2 hours we turn our meat over, we turn the chokecherries over. So all of that's going to be done today, and we are working with some of the elder people, and I'm happy to say, I'm so happy that my sisters are here from Sharon, white woman, is from Lame Deer, Montana, and Sonia Little Hawk Weston is Oglala Sioux Tribe Council representative, and she's here from my district, Wakbamini district. So my 93-year-old aunt is going to do the prayer for the knife ceremony, and what we're finding today is that if you have to start at the beginning, that means you've got to work with your elders, because a lot of our elders have never had knife ceremony. They've not been gifted knives. So we're going to do that today. It might just work out where the women, our elders, up and coming elders, are going to have their own knives from here on. And maybe that's where a lot of the momentum for rites of passage, when it was outlawed, we're just finding our way back to it. But before you start, you have to have your own knives.
Okay, so we're going to be ready.
We're going to be ready.
Okay.
So go ahead and start packaging things up.
And open them, right?
Yeah.
I got to go get those kids.
Hello, hello. I know. The park gets after me. Well, I need to come back. I need to come around.
That's your
This is our, one of my adopted sisters, Cheryl.
Hey, then.
Cheryl. Cheryl. Hey, Mom, I have you, Mom.
That Barbara wants to take her shirt off. She must be hot.
Yeah, when you slice, you can just put them back in there because we're gonna have salt water.
Draw the sweat off.
So you're gonna take your meat and you're gonna run it through the water. And then you're gonna put it on top of here. It's not really straining, but it's
Yeah, yours is like this. If you're gonna do it, you hang it forever.
You just hold this one. When you hold this
Yeah,
down,
that's big.
one thumb goes like this and the other one. This here pushes
That
the
here,
meat.
show that light.
And this one pulls the
Only
meat.
about this long.
Understand?
Yeah, like that thing. This one.
I think we're just letting the blood drip down.
Well, Grandma too, but my mom used to tell me she's gonna teach you.
And her mama. So, yeah, you're doing good like that.
Yep, just
You
take
put
your
me in a
time.
good position.
Yeah, that's why I told you to come over here because I put you guys on either
Yeah, just
end.
just take your time. Now see how you're, make sure you know, see how thick you're making it. Yeah.
When
So
you do
leave
it,
that-
when you do it, like, should you get it as thin as you can get?
Yeah,
the whole
until you
way
roll.
through?
Yeah, until you roll it. Until you roll it. Because you're gonna be rolling it until you get to that spot. You'll feel it too. See, like here, I can still cut it a little bit more down. So I'm in here trying to cut it more. To make sure I don't get that thick.
Yeah, that's mine.
It is. It's beautiful.
That is so wonderful. That's what I wanted you guys to see. How something as precious as this meat, you have to treat it like that. Very
Yeah.
patiently, very reverently.
Victoria said she wasn't here last year. She doesn't know how to do it.
Still learning how to get it apart.
Yeah, I know, but you did it the year before. Remember you got your knives? What did you do with your knives? Where are your knives? You see, that's what we told you. You have to keep track of your knives. Those are your knives. You should ask your grandma. You should ask your grandma where your knives are. And you could come.
Do you do yours in the separate? I like this 5-inch one.
I bet you made Lady Gaga's VMA outfit. I know you did. Now this one.
Okay, go on in. Okay. Start from the top, and then it might take you and a grandma to get up here. You start from the top. Okay, you lay it out so that it's stretchy. Make sure it's flat. You have to flatten it out because we're gonna come out in 2 hours and we're gonna take these and turn them over.
Okay.
Okay, make sure they're flat. Put them close to each other because there's a lot. Okay, next one.
Big.
Yeah, they are. They're big. So you want to,
Close to each other.
yeah, close to each other.
Wait, I'm just gonna even this out. Okay. It's hot in here.
Yes, it is. So what you do is you gotta make sure when you leave from here that all the flies are out of here. You don't want no flies in here because they eat too. I don't begrudge them their due, but when we're doing our meat. We don't want any little creatures on them, little insects, because this is for your people. You're getting food ready for the winter and for ceremonies. That's what this is all about. You use these for special ceremonies and for Sundance. So this is meat that's going to be used next year at Sundance. All winter long it's going to be used. If people need sacred food, you have it. Okay.
It feels so... Oh, sorry, did I splash you?
Not at all. And when you're in charge of meat like this, every 2 hours you gotta come over and flip it over, because this air is gonna kiss the skin of that meat on the top, and you want to flip it over so it kisses the other side. It puts its blessing on the meat, so it has longevity, long life. Wait, no. Yeah, make sure those are close together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Make sure you flatten them out. Right here, see, you need to make sure that you have it flat like that, so that it gets all the air that it needs. You're making a relationship between this animal who gave its life, and you're handling it so that it knows that you're doing it very tenderly and with all due respect. And when you have these feelings for this food, you can always have it. And the more you put it out, the more it's going to keep coming. They said the food talked. And it said, whosoever wants to keep me, there is where I will not be. And whosoever wants to keep giving me away, there's where I will stay. In other words, never be stingy of your food. If you see somebody that needs some sustenance, you see a family, share what you have. You can always push that food out. The more you push it out, the more you're gonna have. So even though things are hard to come by sometimes, you can always have the wherewithal to have food in your house to feed your family. When you share what you have, it doesn't ever leave you. You're gonna see that grandma that's teaching there. You're gonna see how big a piece of meat she's gonna have. Someday that's where you hope to be, and it's faster. You dry all your meat all in one shot and you have these great big giant pieces. That's the hope. That's what my mom taught me. You take and dry those things like this, and this is how we learned to do it. And so thank you for taking time out of your busy play day to come and learn this. These are women's ways of knowing, how to take care of your family by doing all this stuff. It's not hard work. It's heavy work, but it's not hard.
And it's fun.
It's fun, but sometimes you have to give up your playtime because this is your woman ways. These are what you're gonna know. All right. Okay, Kagura, let's go. And then you have to clean up after yourself too. So when you finish laying this, you bring paper towel and you go through and wipe that after you finish laying the other side. And then what's here, wipe it off, wipe the floor off, wash it. There's some bleach water in there. You're gonna come and wipe it off so that when they stop dripping, it's not gonna be all over this tent, because we wanna keep the tent for as long as we can. So you cover it up. You check inside, you make sure there's no flies in there. Because this is a place where you got sacred meat. Sacred food is drying in here, so you gotta take care of your meat. You gotta take care of your stuff. Would you open that window on that side too? All right. So, okay, this is the first round of meat. Now you can see how, Puyana, you see how many women worked on this meat? It's not a whole lot when you look at it, but each one of those women, we have about 7 pieces of that back strap. That's what this is. this is enough for like, when you start looking at it, it's about 7 times you can use it for ceremony or to feed your people. Make soup with it, but mostly sacred food. Okay? Alright, let's go and do it again. And this is what we're going to do all day long. So
Yay.
you have to get prepared in your mind. I know, that's right.
Bring it down,
That's from the, this
and
is
then
the,
you go like this with this one. In the meantime, you're hanging on to the meat. Bring it down, and then you see where
So I
this
just
sharp,
got the knife. I'm just cutting the
that's where you bring it down to,
bristle and stuff
like
off
this.
of this so it's easier to
You make a little ditch like. Bring it over there. Keep doing that. And then you're gonna, when you do that, peel this over here on this side with your hand.
We adopted a dog.
No,
yeah.
hold it
She's Cheyenne.
like this.
Yeah.
Hold it like this,
See, there you go.
like that. And which side is thick? Yeah, okay.
You know what? When it
You're
dries
gonna
up,
have
it's gonna be
to
small. So that's good right there.
bring it down.
And that's something you
You have
could
to
chew
bring
on.
it down and go like
For
this.
sure.
You see, on this side it's thick, so you go like that.
They got
In the
chicken
meantime,
part,
you're
they got
pulling
some
this
backstraps.
this
I
way.
know, well, that's all we have, but
That
these
looks
were,
good.
oh yeah,
Never
I wanted
mind
to
them.
mention, this meat that this
Bring it
table
down.
is doing right now.
And
The
this-
Sideglishka University Provost
See,
Phil
like
Baird donated this
Bring it
meat,
this.
buffalo meat. And what you're doing is what
And
we
you
bought through Sacred
bring it
Healing
down like
Circle
that.
and through some of the, from our stash, whatever we had. So this got donated to us. All buffalo. All buffalo
You
meat.
pull,
I just
and
wanted
these
to say that
fingers
for them.
you
Thank you,
push.
Phil.
you push it on this side. But this one, you roll it this way, like this.
So when
Like
you're
that.
cutting, you'll
Okay.
kind of feel it.
Here, now you do it. Get your knife.
You don't want to cut your finger
Yeah,
off.
so just kind of feel.
Don't cut your finger.
Where did she go? She didn't even.
She's smoking.
Oh.
Oh, she's cutting her fingernails and smoking.
Oh, okay.
Don't go like this. Don't go like that. Just slice it. You go down like this. Easy, easy.
Huh?
Yeah.
Facebook.
Remember, this one's pushing it.
And cutting meat.
You roll it. Now bring it up. Push this up.
We do
No,
this
no, no, no.
every
You
year,
can use
sister,
this
but
finger.
we-
This
I know
one's going to
Barbara
do the work.
finally got- 'cause I
All
always
you
make her
do
if
is
she
you
needs
just
some
handle
meat, I always give her
the
some.
knife.
Make her some.
Let me see. Like this.
My husband hunts a lot.
See?
Grandson.
Yeah. Oh.
Then
Oh, there you are.
you go
We're
like
not
this,
done.
and
we're
then
gonna
you're
send
going
a
to
search
see
party
it.
out for
Yeah.
you, Barbara.
You're going to feel it. It's thick on this side. So you hold it like this on this side. You see? Hold it like that. And you push it. You push this one gently. You don't go like this
That's just
because
right.
you'll cut yourself.
That's
Gently
Because if you
you
make
push
any
it.
in there, you're probably going to cut yourself.
Very
That's the first
gently,
thing.
because if you
So,
don't,
like how you
you're
did
going to
this,
cut the
you'll be
meat
pretty
and
good, and slowly you'll get pretty.
you end up with a lot of holes in it.
Look in this before. Look in that.
Yeah, start
See?
on the next one. Just kind of, yeah.
Slowly, but not fast. Be careful. Keep
Once you
rolling.
get the feeling
Keep rolling.
Are you ready to start, or are you gonna?
I want to get one more shot.
Okay.
Gotta get off the phone. And then when you start, just go slow. Like take your time. You don't need to be. Sometimes we use a teepee pole. Forward. So it doesn't break. You gotta grab it on that slowly and come down. Let me know if you need more room, and then we can go onto this next board right there.
It's curvy.
Just open it up and then I just adjust it. Because usually I always have like a poles about this round and go so it doesn't hit it, doesn't meet. But see, this is good because they won't dry so close. I just need one little stick right here just to keep it. This is good. Then you just spread it open like that way. Spread it open on there so I can get it. That's hanging right here. Bed. I wonder if we can get a little stick or something. Yeah, just give me a little twig that we can put. I want to fix it right here. That's where I had that one little part that was on. And all you do is just stick that stick right there and it'll just hold that meat together after that.
So that it doesn't rip?
Yeah. So when you guys hang these up, see how this is? You don't want it to hit each other. So that's why we always just put the stick right here so it can dry. You don't want it to be close, it takes forever to dry. So yeah, so it'd be good to get like a stick. That's why I told her the dollar store has them.
I see.
And put it right here so they can be opened up. Then it'll dry inside too.
And is
Like
it
this one
okay
too.
to be putting it long like this?
Yeah, that'd be okay too.
Okay.
And then when it kind of dries,
Yeah.
then you can go the long way.
Got it. Okay.
Because right now you don't want it to break.
Right.
When it kind of dries, then you can kind of put it over.
Thank you very much for your teachings, and I'm gonna give you a gift.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, give her a hug. Give her a Thanksgiving hug.
And you remember what you have to do? Okay. Well, your mom, when she brings meat, and if she's gonna slice meat, you sit by her and slice meat with her. Remember this day, because that's never gonna go away. You're gonna say, oh, that grandma taught me like this and like that. How to work the fingers, this one and this one. Okay?
I know. We're gonna be slicing meat every day.
I know. Thank you, Mama. We'll be left thank God, Mom.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Young.
Okay, I'm Sharon.
Okay.
White woman, how?
Yeah, you remember.
It's hard to remember.
Even I couldn't remember.
Here before me. Someday I told Barbara I'm gonna come back someday and stay with her for a while.
Next year you're gonna.
That's what she keeps telling me, isn't it, Barbara? You need to come back and stay with me.
We have a little short teaching time, so
Yeah.
make the best of it. My sister Anita and I always get those cherries ready. We grind them and get them ready, and then we go over to the tent. We have some tables set up, so we usually just make our patties out there, or we have these little girls make the patties and just start putting them on the table. And so it's a lot easier just to take it and go out there. Part of the preparation. Yeah, we're gonna have you put them on your cutting boards, and then you can bring them out there. The tent is sitting over here. So we go out this way? Yeah, we can go out this way and go around and take it to the tent. I think we have 9 gallons ready. There's some more. But we didn't do all of them because my sister likes to make wasna with frozen berries. So we dry half of it or some of it, and then we use whole berries that we thaw out for the rest of it. It just she likes the fresher taste of the berries that are frozen. So one of the things that we're taught about this, there's some scientific books that say that chokecherries are poison, and so we have to say to that. Our people have been using these chokecherries for thousands of years, and nobody's died from it. And the thing about that is that our grandmothers told us that chokecherry has to have the seed in it. The magic is in the seed. What the whole idea of that is you have to grind it together. So my great grandmothers did what's called the 3-berry method. They would take 3 berries at a time and smash it. So we have like 50 gallons of cherries. And you can imagine doing 3-berry method. It's going to take you like a year, maybe a month and a half to get everything to this process so that you can put stuff out to get ready for the winter. Mainly all of the meat that these ladies prepared yesterday and our sisters and my 93-year-old aunt, those buffalo meats are going to probably only be used for ceremony. It's very, very expensive, and it's hard to do this work as you're fighting fatigue and tired, and you have to handle that meat so that you infuse your goodness and your ways to that place where we're all knowing that these things have to be done. And the same thing happens with these berries. And like I said, we do these sacred foods in the way of following the seasons. So you have water. Water is the first medicine, and it stands for the winter. And then you have the corn or the maize. They have it wagmiza. That's how we say it, and that stands for the spring. And then you have the chokecherries, the berries. Those are standing for the summer. And then you have the buffalo meat, and that buffalo meat then stands for the fall. So you have these special foods, sacred foods, in those time periods. They become available. So you feed the earth, you feed the fire, you feed the water, you feed the air, everything that we're sharing this sacred great vibration with, the movement. We're in creator space when you're doing this work. So I just share that with you so that you know that there's a reason why we're doing this, and it's especially important for our little children to know these things, because that's what grounds us as a people. And these things go back thousands of years. We don't take any shortcuts. Although today it's nicer because we have things that we can use and grind cherries. So I just share that with you, and then what you're seeing here is the pickings, the gathering of these berries. We actually have the one who did it is here with us, and I'd like to introduce Jody Pacheco, who has spent days gathering 50 gallons of cherries for us. And this is Jody, and she has a little son, and I'm sure that little son, Daniel, is gonna learn about these ways. So it's not just for our little girls, but it's also for the little boys. And they have rites of passage that they do. But this is what we're showing you. My 93-year-old aunt is over there already working on the cherries. So she's telling us.
Don't be mentioning my age.
Yeah, don't mention my age.
Food is sacred. We can't play with food, or we can't, anything about mismanage the food and all that, because the food is sacred, and the food is a pejuta medicine. So that's our body. Like cherries are, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of vitamin in those cherries. Then I know that chimsila is a starch. Chimsila is a starch. And a lot of other things. I was kind of into dietitian a little bit, just a little bit, and I know a little bit about it, the dietitian area, and so the second education, the second food that we have is a lot of vitamins in there, and our food is a lot of vitamins in there too. So that's our body is shrinking, and no diabetes, no cancer, no whatever, that's Ijuta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can.
Just like a hamburger.
Oh, okay.
When you make a hamburger,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make it, but don't make it too thin.
Cheryl,
Okay.
if
And
you'd
don't
rather
make
we
it
use
too
one of
thick.
our boards,
Okay.
we can do that.
Between.
And then
Because
that way
it's
we
got
don't
to
disturb
dry.
your board.
And if it's too thick, it won't dry. And if it's too thick, it's gonna break. Okay. So you gotta keep it in between.
So like a hamburger consistency.
Yeah, just like the hamburger.
Okay.
Just pretend it's a hamburger.
I'm going to
We're gonna need them to use their,
put them in. Yeah.
Do you have gloves?
get one for,
Yes, put your apron on.
put mine in the microwave for this. This mine just an old
Yes, those look great. This is definitely our hamburger, to be honest.
That's what this one is chicken.
How you doing?
Then after this, they take them out and put them out and then
If you can do these, they used to do these without any gloves on. You had purple hands for about 2 months.
I want to hear this, but I don't want them to hear your story.
This is Billy Mills' granddaughter, Sydney, and she works at Running Strong for American Indian Youth. So she's one of the next generation of Billy's legacy. You can actually see they're here. She's here.
I'm very proud and honored to be that legacy, to continue on his legacy.
Yeah. This happens every year, so here's your opportunity.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Just feeling like I wished I had known these ways as a child. But I wasn't exposed to my culture until recently. So I'm very happy to be here.
Even this, we do use the cherries for sacred food, the juice of the cherries. So when we reconstitute these in water, then all of that juice, we save it to be used for sun dances and things. So nothing is wasted. So even though we're drying these, when we re-soak them and the juice that's coming out of it, we even use that.
Yeah, it's all marsh, it's all river. These people are doing business.
she might be out there.
Okay, sister, can you step through there? Yeah, I can't open it. Oh yeah, a little bit. Go ahead. Don't be careful, Mom. Okay. Okay, line them up on.
You know how
we
Mom
just-
showed us to put a sheet down
Yeah,
and then put the
meat on the
yeah.
chokecherries.
And then that way when you lift it up to undo it, it gets stuck. So when you lift that sheet up, then you can peel it off like and turn them over.
Okay.
So that usually works.
So
So
you
I
want
don't.
her-
Okay.
Or you could put them down yourself.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I know.
gee, that's a lot. There'll be a lot of chokecherries. Yep, patties.
Yep. And go ahead and hold on. Okay, take it in and go lay it down. This is our oldest granddaughter. Her name's Vanessa Fincham. This is Anita's oldest granddaughter, Anita Freda Bear.
Oh, this is just. You know what we can do, Loretta, is take this top off. Oh, there's more.
Okay, yeah, to
I learned how to make the wasna and how to make the chokecherry patties.
What was your favorite part?
Definitely not going in the tent with the wasna because it smells.
I'm going to give you each the opportunity to talk. So
I was just talking to Loretta outside, and I'm really grateful too for the opportunity to remember and do things that I saw my aunts and cousins doing when I was younger. And I was just telling her, I said they have a program in Rapid City, and there's always a call out there for somebody to go in and teach these young kids how to gobble meat and make wasna and stuff like that. And I never stepped up, and I should have. I regret that. But I said, now I can go back and I could kind of show them how to gobble meat, and I know I can show them how to make chokecherry patties and wasna and stuff. I know all that. So a lot of us don't take the opportunity to share, even though we know some of it. I'm always afraid I'm going to do something wrong, but and then you realize it's an excuse for not stepping up, and I won't do that anymore. Something to share, something that they'll remember and carry on to, and we have to embrace that and share all we can.
tell who you are.
Oh, I'm Cheryl Noisy-Hawk. I manage Barb's emergency shelters. So there's a lot to share there too. You know, a lot of our youth that are lost, and we try to redirect them and let them know that they matter, their lives matter, and that they're important.
You know, I'm really glad that I came. I'm really happy that Loretta and Yvette, just from the past years, things to help our people to find themselves, to know who they are, where they come from, our traditions, to be proud of our culture. It's been a hard battle, especially when there's division among our people. And it's not only division among the women, but also among the men. And that really creates hard feelings for our people. But one of my visions is that all be changed and we all live in harmony. We all live in peace. We all help each other. We don't tell our own family member, I'll do this for you, but how much are you going to give me? How much are you going to pay me? That's being said now, and it's even gone down to the younger generation where the kids are saying that, well, clean your room, or how much are you going to pay me, or what are you going to give me? That wasn't an option with us when we grew up. We had our chores already mapped out for us, and we knew what we were supposed to do. We got up in the morning, got dressed, ate breakfast, and then we did our chores. And our families, our parents and our grandparents weren't prejudiced back then. My brother had to wash dishes. My brother had to sweep the floors. And you know, they say, some of our ancestors, our grandparents say, well, those are women's jobs and those are men's jobs. But as we progress forward, changes are being made. But these traditional ways of making bapa and chokecherries, I never had the privilege of learning that. I seen it before. My mom was a cook down at Oglala, and on her big, she had 2 weeks vacation, so we'd go up to Richard Table and spend 2 weeks with my Uncle Bud Kilsenhuddard and his wife Margaret, which was my mom's cousin, Margaret Weston. And I remember where my brother and them had to climb on top of the roof of the shed, and they had a big old board with screen, and then they'd lay the chokecherry patties there, and then Mom and them would cover them. So I remember all of those things, but we never did it ourselves because my mom worked for the government. We lived right there at Lone Man School. And then my mom wasn't from here. She's from the eastern part of the state. She's a Santisu from Flandreau. There's always a connection there, and if I can have that connection, each and every one of you can have a connection with your relatives. But you just have to put yourself forward to do it. And I think that's the I don't want to say the problem, I just want to say the holdback is our people are scared to go forward. Our people are scared to find out things because of what our ancestors and our grandparents went through in the past. You know, like they say, the boarding school days, the trauma. And I understand that that's all happening and all happened. And how it's affecting us coming forward, but to me, I'm a firm believer is that could stop. That could stop, and that you can make it stop. Like they say, we live in a circle. You have alcoholism, domestic violence, you have all that in your family. I seen my mother being abused. So when I grew up, I said, I don't want to live like that. My first marriage was domestic violence, but I put a stop to it. And I said, no more, and I divorced him. And I don't want my daughters to go through it. My oldest one was going through it, and I put a stop to it. I took her away from him. She had a little boy, and she's pregnant, but I took her away because I seen my mom go through that, and I went through it, and I didn't want her to, so I stopped it. So we can stop it as grandmothers today. We could stop all of that by sitting down and talking to our daughters and letting them know. My mom said, I did not bring you into this world to be a punching bag. Although she went through it, but when she said that to me, it stuck in my head. So some say don't get involved in your daughter's lives, but if it comes to domestic violence, you know I'm going to get involved. And I'm going to stop it because I don't want my granddaughters to go through that. I don't want anybody, any woman, any girl to go through that.
I think our people knew this way of life, you know, making dry meat, chokecherries, like my sister Loretta talked about, the different seasons of when we get ready and to have food for winter. So I really want to say that I'm so glad that I had a chance to come yesterday and today when she called me about 3 weeks ago and kind of prepared me and said, you know, sister, I want to invite you. I really had to set that aside and put that, you know, there, that I know there's a power going on right now at home, but I wanted to take time to come here and to learn this. And I really think I've learned a lot yesterday, and I just learned a lot today, and I just learned a lot from my aunt and what she talked about. And so I just really want to say thank you to everyone here that was able to share with us what you knew about it.
They're usually about maybe 4 or 5 days, but because they have to last all winter, we really dry them. So it's about a 10-day, 2-week process. Make sure we keep flipping them, and then like everything, what they did for their meat, we're going to package that up, what they made, and get it back to them, as well as the cherries. Because the medicine man told us we should always have chokecherry, patties, dry meat, and corn, because there's things coming that we're not going to be able to depend on what's going on in the cities or the stores in town. He said just be prepared. So a lot of this nation rebuilding effort we're doing is to teach our young how to be resourceful. It takes time to do it, but by the time I get ready to leave here on the 14th, we should have everything bagged and dried.
I love this tent.
And this is the one we used to dry our meat. And we had those little clothes dryers.
The sun, it's really good to us. It's come out to do this. So these cherries will have a really firm, by this evening, they're going to be real firm. So I think it's safe to say we're on our way. Yeah, I heard about it.
They're always asking, well, they got girls in there too, but they're always asking for somebody to teach those kids how stuff like this. I can do that.
Now you can do it.